Good morning, everybody. Let's play with some ribbon and my cherry box and a cut file. This layout today, the end result of it looks very clean and simple, but it is so fabulous and it checks so many boxes for today. I am usually not one for combining challenges and combining series and combining stuff, but this just worked and it came together and it's so beautiful. I cannot wait to share this layout with you. The first part of the layout we are going to work on is the cut file. So if you watched my video on the 2nd of this month for Cut to You, you know that this cut file I'm working with is the other half of my December cut of the month cut file. I am going to start with the negative pieces of that cut file. I put the negative pieces into my waffle flower grip mat. I grabbed my Juniper Mist ink from Catherine Polar and I inked up all those letters a lovely dark navy blue. So this video is my last video in collaboration with the amazing Natalie Dill, and that is Cut File Chaos. We are not continuing Cut File Chaos into the 2024. We have a brand new series coming with two more YouTubers. There's 4 of us that are going to do the series in January, and I hope you absolutely love it. Once I have those negative pieces of the cut file all inked up, I'm going to add some little highlights with Perfect Pearls. This color is called Deep Water, and it is part of my January cherry box. So that's an upcoming cherry box. If you love the products that I am using today, you can still subscribe to the cherry box up until Monday. And I'm going to set those aside to dry, and then we're going to work a little bit more with our cut file. I'm going to back my cut file with these pretty pattern papers. So I went through the papers in my cherry box and I chose all of these gorgeous kind of floral and tone-on-tone prints so that I could create a heritage layout, which is what we're going to do today. So while this kit is a little bit wintry, I am not going to use it as wintry at all. I'm just going to take some of these gorgeous vintage prints and use them on a heritage layout. The last little YouTube box that this particular layout checks off is for our Rediscover Your Stash Hop. This month's featured project is ribbon, and you can see the ribbon that I have off to the side there. We're going to get to that ribbon in just a second, but first we're going to get this cut file cut. In the description box below, you will find loads of information. If you would like to sign up for the Cut of the Month Club, you'll find a link there. If you would like to sign up for a cherry box and get one of these gorgeous boxes before the 25th, which is this coming Monday, you can do that too. If you want to hop along and be inspired by all of the gorgeous ribbon projects that are in the Rediscover Your Hop, you will find that link in the description box below. You will also find links to any products that I'm using on my layout today that I can link up. So if there's anything available, for instance, like my glue or those kinds of things. So I backed all 3 of those banners. I'm showing you here. I put the little liquid pearls on them. Now I'm going to set them aside to dry. Liquid pearls do take a good bit to dry, a good amount of time. Now let's get to work on my ribbon. So I am using a 12 by 12 sheet of very lovely thick white cardstock from 49th and Market. This is new to me cardstock. It's their Essentials cardstock. I am happy to say, though, that I have cut this cardstock in my silhouette. I have been using it all month long. I love it. I think it's really, really nice cardstock. So if you're looking for like a new, nice, thick white cardstock, this is a good one. I am taking lengths of ribbon. So I'm taking all 3 of the ribbon that are in the January cherry box. I'm also taking some glittery gold ribbon from my stash, and I'm cutting 12-inch lengths. I am almost out of this gold ribbon, which is awesome and amazing. So we're going to have to Frankenstein another border of that gold ribbon, but I'll show you how we do that when I get there. So I'm grabbing some magnets to hold my paper in place because my glass board is magnetic and I love it. And I also have this lovely huge ruler from My Sweet Petunia. This is the cut-a-line ruler, and it goes to 15 inches, which I adore. I wish it was magnetic too, truth be told. I'm going to line it up, and that way I can get my ribbon as straight as possible. Now, fair warning, just so you know, ribbon is a textured fabric. It's gonna go on the way it's gonna go on. It's not gonna be super straight. It's very, very, very hard to get it straight. So don't worry about it if it like bunches up a little bit. Mine totally did, and I was fine. To adhere the ribbon, first I am putting on a layer of Tear It tape. I get my Tear It tape from Spiegelbaum Scraps, but wherever you can get your tape, as long as you like the brand you use and it's nice and sticky, go for it. I love the tape from Spiegelbaum Scraps. I think it's awesome. Now, I am going to adhere my ribbon with 2 separate adhesives. So I've put the dry Tear It tape onto the back of the ribbon, and now I'm going to grab my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I'm going to put a nice bead of glue down and then adhere my ribbon. So having the wet glue allows me to kind of wiggle that ribbon into place. Having that dry adhesive actually gives me a little bit of a barrier between the ribbon and the wet glue, so the wet glue doesn't come out from underneath the ribbon and make a mess and not stick and all that. Like, they work together really, really well for this application and for sticking the ribbon down. And once you have that first piece of ribbon down, the rest of the ribbon you don't need a ruler for. Now I have almost all of my ribbon strips on my page except for the last one. I am going to put these 2 little pieces of ribbon, I'm going to put them side by side. It works really well because ribbon doesn't have seams like paper does. Like, you're not going to be able to even tell or notice that I'm using 2 pieces of ribbon. But I really wanted another strip of that beautiful gold, and I didn't have enough of it. So awesome sauce. I used up the rest of the gold ribbon on my page. Go me. I put my ribbon strips about 1/3 of the way down the page, and I actually end up flipping my paper around so those ribbon strips are not at the top but rather more towards the bottom, because that way I could fit my photo and the cut file piece in and all of that. So I'm gonna work on my picture now. I'm gonna go ahead and map my photos. I'm gonna choose a couple of patterns from this collection. I really steered clear of the winter patterns. I went with the lovely kind of floral patterns for my design. I decided that I really wanted a little bit more gold on my background. So I'm going to grab my Brutus Monroe Aqua Pigment in Gilded, and I'm going to add water. So I'm not going to use this full strength. I'm going to pour just a little bit of water in there and kind of dilute it quite a bit. And then I'm going to use a fan brush, and I am going to splatter it across the top and bottom of my page. So diluting this water, diluting this aqua pigment with water gives me a paler gold. I love the aqua pigments straight because they are really gold and really shimmery, but for this layout I wanted something a little bit softer and something that matched my ribbon a little bit better, and so that is what I decided to use, and it worked beautifully. You can see there it's just this gorgeous shimmer and it is beautiful. I wanted to add a nice simple spot for some journaling to my layout, so I grabbed my Juniper Mist ink and I'm just going to stamp a little journaling spot. The stamp that I am using is so old. I have no clue where it came from. I think I got it out of a stash box like years ago, and it's one of my favorites. It stays right on my desk because it's like it's just like the perfect size to just add a little journal spot to your pages. Here's a little close-up of that sparkle. I love it. I love it when you add water and it kind of dilutes the color a little bit, and now it's more yellowy. It's more of a yellow gold or a light yellow gold as opposed to that more warmer gold that you get when you use it at full strength. So this is going to be my plan for my layout. See how simple, but we did all that work, right? So every part of this layout, we thought it through. Well, I thought it through. I thought about what, how I wanted these products to play together, and we kind of did everything. I kind of did everything separately a little bit, and then when you bring it all together, it just is gorgeous. I am going to do the same thing with my photo, the cut file, and my journaling block because I am adhering things to ribbon. I'm going to use some of my tape runner, but then I'm also going to add some extra adhesive. Once I have my cut file in place, I am going to go ahead and inlay those letters, and it's just going to make this title pop. I know that love is kind of a really simple title, but this photo is of my great-grandmother, who I knew, and I did indeed love her. So the story I want to tell to go along with this layout is I have very fond memories of my great-grandmother. I know we don't all get to meet our great-grandmothers, but I got to meet mine, and I remember her house. I remember she had a turtle for a pet, and the turtle lived behind a chair in her house. I remember that she made the most delicious chocolate pudding I have ever eaten in my life. She would put a big spoonful of whipped cream on top of the chocolate pudding, and she would serve that for every meal that you had at her house, and meals at her house. Every meal that I ever attended or went to at her house was very like formal, like that. The table was set, and it was lovely. So yeah, I have things about my great-grandmother that I really want to add into my heritage album. So I'm going to go ahead and pull in the stamp set that is part of this cherry box. I'm using Cranberry Fizz ink in addition to the Juniper Mist, and I'm going to create 3 little clusters, stamped clusters on my page. So again, keeping it very simple and elegant but beautiful. I really love how this layout turned out. This layout is all the things I love to do on a scrapbook page. Use my stash, really enjoy my crafting time, and add these gorgeous kind of small details. The details on the cut file, having the ribbon instead of adding more texture and sparkle, that little bit of gold splatter, these gorgeous stamps. I'm really happy with how this layout turned out. So I'm just going to go around. I'm going to stamp the flowers in the Cranberry Fizz, and then I'm going to stamp some of the other like little star quilty images in the Juniper Mist for some finishing touches. And then we are going to call this layout all done. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Again, if you want to participate or check out more videos with cut files and ribbons, or if you need a cherry box, then please head down to the description box. You can find all the links you need right there. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. I will see you back here again next week. Bye.